All right, so this is a very good story, personal, dear story to me and to the guys, but it's from my perspective. I'm sure all the guys have their own.
Oh, you gotta say the title first.
I'm gonna say it, but let me set it up first. But I'm sure everybody has their own angle, perspective of this story, but this is mine, and this is the time our lives changed. It's a good one. All right, so I always got to set the setting. You know, we're in Atlanta. We're living in Dunwoody. Straight Out of Dunwoody was out, I believe.
I'm coming straight out of Dunwoody. Crazy mother lover named Michael.
We put that out already, and we were gearing up to drop our album. Yep, I remember. And we were like recording for like months. People, everything. Everything was about the album. And we are also shooting skits during this time because we wanted to keep the channel going. So when we dropped the album, we would have momentum. So we shot this skit called First 48. I don't know if y'all remember that skit. Go back and watch that. Very funny skit.
Thirst 48.
Thirst 48. It was a parody of First 48. Yep.
Now you gonna tell us everything you know.
Yo, first off, word is born on everything I love, B. I ain't telling y'all nothing. I ain't see nothing. I ain't hear nothing, nigga. I ain't even smell nothing.
Sir, we have your girlfriend on the other line if you don't feel like talking.
Cam was on Instagram all night liking booty pictures. And we shot this sketch, and we were finished shooting it, and it was like Saturday night, the night before we were supposed to drop it, which was Sundays. And I was editing the sketch, the Thirst 48, on my laptop. And Emmanuel comes out his room, and he says, "Hey, y'all, I got a call from our manager." So everybody gathers in the kitchen. I'm still in my room because my room was pretty much the kitchen. Because you remember, my room wasn't really a room. It was just like an extra part of the living room that I divided with a curtain and some shutters. It was really many. Sometimes it would fall down. I did it myself. I didn't ask somebody because we weren't supposed to do that in the first place. So I didn't have to leave my room to be in the kitchen. So I was just in my room. I just kind of like moved my shutters a little bit. So I'm editing. I'm just laying on the bed editing while Emmanuel puts our manager on speaker while everybody gathers around. And our manager says, "Hey, is everybody around?" Some man's like, "Yeah, we got everybody here." She's like, "Great. So I got in contact with Tracy Edmonds. And if y'all don't know Tracy Edmonds, she did College Hill. She was married to Babyface. She's married to Dion right now, or engaged?
They date. I don't know if they're married.
Okay, but she's done a lot in the industry. BT, she's been around for a while. So Tracy, our manager, had got in contact with Tracy Edmonds, and Tracy Edmonds was actually a fan of us. And she said she was doing this series in LA at the moment, and she would like for one of us to come out and be in the show, in one of her shows in LA. So she's calling us to see if we would be able to come out. So then she was like, so then we were like, "Oh yeah." So then I think Amanda was like, "Who does she want?" And it's like, it don't matter who it is. Like, if one of your brothers go, it's all good. It's like, it's one of us, you know what I'm saying? It's good. But you just like, I hope it's me. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I would like to go to LA right now, go do something cool. That'd be kind of tight. So then it was like slow motion for me. I don't know how everybody else felt, but I was in the room editing and I'm just listening. And she goes, "She said Mike." And I was just like, try to keep my composure, and everybody kind of looked at me. Emmanuel looked at me. He was like, "Mike, you cool with that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool. I can do it."
Niggas always trying to play it off cool.
Why, right? Why we can't be excited? That's I think that's trauma, man.
It was Christmas morning inside.
Man, in real life, I should have been like, "Hey, I want to go. Let's go, baby. Woo!" I was like,
that's what the world do to black men. It take your joy.
Take my joy. That's sad, man. We got to stop that.
Take your joy.
We got to stop that. We got to make a new trend. We got to just start being joyful.
It's either the world or somebody let you down so many times you don't want to get excited.
but that's everybody, man. Everybody gets let down. Don't let that stop us. We gotta have joy. I'm gonna have joy right now. So I'm excited inside. So then she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get in contact with her, tell her you said okay, and I'll hit you with the flights later. So bet. So she gets off the phone. Everybody kind of goes back to their place. I gotta finish the skit now, like quick, because I gotta go on a flight tomorrow. Usually I wake up in the morning and add do some other stuff, but I was like, I gotta stay up and finish it. So I did that, put the skit on YouTube, and I was like, Cam or somebody would put it on public. So they hit me with the flight details like late that night. It was like an early flight. I had to get up, catch the train, go to the airport. So at the airport now, I'm just like, whoa, like, I don't know what I'm about to do still. I just know I'm about to do a scene, but I don't know who with who. And I'm just like, what is really happening? Because we've been to LA before, but it was like all of us, I think. Yeah, as a group, we went to LA before. And we did some pitch meetings. But this felt like, oh shit, like I'm being called out here. It wasn't just like we're going out there to try. It was like I'm being called out here.
You're getting flued up.
Right. Hey man, I got my city girl on. You know, we were living in Atlanta too. So, well, city girl's from Miami, but anyway, I was getting flowed out, and I liked it.
Period.
Felt good. It wasn't first class or anything, but you know that's besides the point. I was just happy. So I remember calling my mom, you know, at the airport, and you know, it wasn't like, this is it, mom. It wasn't like one of those conversations, but it was kind of like one of those conversations because I was like, wow, mom, and like this is kind of cool. Like this is. She was like, wow, I hope everything's happening for you the way you know. And we just having this conversation, and it was meaningful, and I felt so inspired going on the plane. So I get on the plane. It was one of them huge planes too, long flight. Finally get off, and when we get off, when we land, my manager's there to pick me up. So I'm like, I still don't know what I'm doing. So I asked her, like, so what am I doing? She's like, oh, you're doing a scene with Michael K. Williams. So I was like, Michael K. Williams? Like, it sounded familiar, but I was like, who is that who I think it is? She was like, look him up. So I Googled him, and I'm like, oh, the dude from The Wire.
Yo, son, come on. Yo, Omar coming, man. Oh, shit.
And for me, my personal favorite scene from him is when he was in Chris Rock's movie, Why Did I Get Married? When he was yelling at like that's when I really like knew about Mike K. Williams, because I didn't watch The Wire like that growing up, but I watched a lot of comedy. So when I saw that movie and I saw him, I was like, yo, this dude is hilarious. Like, so when I looked it up and saw I was acting across from him, it was just gonna be me and him. I was like, yo, I was kind of shook. And I still didn't even have no lines yet or nothing. They were gonna give it to me when I got on set, but you know, I was used to that. So we get to the set. It was a church. It was in like Inglewood, and you know, it's trucks and wardrobe and people outside with clipboards. And this is my first time being on set, for like a real set. Like, we shot our own skits, but obviously, you know, it was just us and the camera. So this was like moving pieces and parts, and I just started getting nervous. I'm like, oh shit, like this is real. Like, I thought it was gonna be like some skit, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't us with one tripod.
Nah, it was like millions of tripods. So I would start getting nervous because now I'm like, I really don't know my lines. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting across from this guy. Is he gonna look at me and be like, man, get this kid out of here? Like, I was thinking about all this stuff. So I get in there, and I'm just like, before I get in there, I said a prayer. I silently to myself, I just like, Lord, just protect me, give me confidence, give me the confidence that I know I have. You know, I've been doing these skits with the guys now for like 4 or 5 years, and editing and doing all these things. So I was like, I felt like I already had my you know, knowledge and my game with me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't feel so nervous, like I didn't know what I was doing, because I was like, we've been doing this just on our own time and pace. This was just a bigger scale. So we get on set, and they put me in like I guess the green room, but everybody was in this room because it was a church still, so it wasn't really like real rooms. And they put me in this green room, and in the green room is Taraji P. Henson. and some wardrobe people and some other people. And walking by me too is like people like Stevie J and like stuff like there's like mad just random people in here, like Stevie J from Love and Hip Hop and from Bad Boy. And I'm just like, yo, what the, like, living in Atlanta, you see celebrities, but I'm just like, I'm in here working with these people. So I'm in the dressing room, and then Taraji P. Henson comes up to me, and she starts talking, and she's cool. I think our manager introduced us, and then she asked me what I was doing, and I told her I was in a group. And she was like, this is the first person in LA to tell us, she was like, y'all gonna break up. And I was like, what? Like, I'm fresh off the plane, and the first thing she said to her, she's like, y'all gonna break up. And I was like, why do you say that? And then another person came and started chiming in, and they're like, you know how it is out here, man. You know how many groups come out here? And they just start telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, whoa. But I was like, all right, I wasn't like, yeah, they're right. I was just like, they don't know us. They don't know our chemistry. They don't know our friendship. So I was like, ain't paying no mind. But we still had a good interaction. After that, we talked about other stuff, and it started to loosen me up a little bit. Then finally, they came and brought me the script. So I'm like trying to read it, and I'm trying to like find my voice in it, and because I really want to do this good. And then they come to me. They didn't have to put me in no wardrobe or anything. What I wore was fly already, because it wasn't really that fly. When I look back at it, I'm gonna show you the picture right here. It was actually like some Target clothes, but at the time that's how I dressed. You know what I'm saying? I was dressing like a PA. Yeah, I was dressing like a PA. That's how I used to dress. Like, there was a time. Sometimes I look at some of the stuff I wear, man. I'm like, what was I thinking, man?
Wait till 5 years, 10 years from now.
Nah, never. Everything I wear I'm going off right now.
Let's not get sidetracked, guys. You might go and take.
No. This is real quick. Anything I wore from the past 2-3 years and up, I'll never regret. And you got that on tape, buddy. All right. So anyway. They bring me up and they say, all right, Mike, we're ready for you. I talked to Tracy Edmonds. She was just happy. She was like how her son was a fan of us, and he introduced her.
She introduced him to you.
No, her son introduced us to her. Tracy Edmonds' son. Her kids, actually. She had multiple. She had like a few sons. So it was like, oh, thank you, just talking, and they were just, everybody made me feel really confident. And then Michael K. Williams was already doing, like, he did multiple scenes. Basically, he's a pastor in a church, right? And you gotta, everybody's coming up to him with their problems. He's like the therapist pastor, but he's Michael K. Williams. He's like angry about it. He's like, hey, don't come to me with that, but he's using God's name to kind of like enforce his will, his power. So that was kind of like the whole role, and everybody that came into the church into his office to complain was a different character. Like Stevie J was a character, all these people were Taraji P. Henson. So I was just like the young guy in church, right, who was just supposed to mind his business. But I went in there basically complaining about like all the problems in the church and how Michael K. Williams favors celebrities more than the actual people that come here.
Too late. Should have been here earlier.
Got here earlier? I've been trying to get a meeting with you forever. You're too Hollywood. Plus, you only take meetings with famous actors.
Singers and athletes, too.
Yeah. And he had a problem with that and everything. So, did it a few times. I think I actually like my performance, but then I go back and, obviously I can go back and look at it and be like, man, I could have did this better and this better. But I was satisfied with it at the time. And did it, we talked, we took a picture. He asked me what I do out here. Like during the takes, he was asking me, so you said you in comedy? Okay. Oh, internet group? Like at the time internet was still new, so he didn't know about anything about Dormtainment or anything. But he was nice, and he was very patient, and he worked with me, seeing that he was like a seasoned actor. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was very patient and kind about his space. So that experience right there, I was on a like super high, because I did it. I got it over with as far as like the nervousness of like doing it right. I did it. I remember my lines, and I got paid. It was like $500.
Flued out and paid?
Boy. $500 to get flued out and put on set?
2012? 2013?
2011.
Shit.
No, it was like 2013. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I was DJing at the time, and shoot, I I was so scared to charge $300 to DJ. Like I'd be like, hey, if I charge you, they might not accept. They might just deny it. I was like, fuck it. You know, but out $500 to me, and to do that I was like, yo, okay, there's money to be made out here. Like I was like, it's that easy to make money out here. I was like, there's money to be made out here. I was feeling like money making Mitch. I was like, I'm ready. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about 10 years? I'm talking about 10 days.
10 years, me and you gonna have matching Benzes.
10 years. Think of more like 10 days, man. 10 days.
So, man, I get this check and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is dope, man. So our manager, she's like, she wanted to take me out to dinner to introduce me to a friend of hers who has a client that was our age, but she was a singer, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool. Like, we in LA. I think I was leaving the next day. No, the day after. So I had another day, but that night, I was like, yeah, we in LA. I was like, and you know what song was popping at that time too, Cam? What? Started from the bottom, now we're here. That song just dropped. It was like 2 days in to that song.
Well, we was in Alabama when it first dropped, so this is after Alabama.
You was in Alabama when that dropped?
I'll never forget it. We was performing at UAB when that dropped.
Okay.
That came out.
Well, this was during that time, but I don't know if I know we were probably removed from Alabama. That we're probably like a month or two out, but this song was in heavy rotation at this point. So I'm in LA and this song is going off, and I'm just in the car just looking out the window as our manager's driving. And I was like, man, this is it. This is it. This is what everybody talks about in their careers when it's like, it's in LA, got my first check, and that was it from there. You know, like this is what everybody talks about. I'm just like, okay, we're here. So we go to this dinner, and at this dinner, I'm introduced to my manager's friend who's a manager, and her client who's a singer, and also this other guy who was there with them, and he was like, comes to find out, he ends up being he in the long run he ends up training us and being like really dope friends with us. But at the time, he didn't, like, when he first met me, like right as soon as we met each other, he didn't really know who I was. But then we sat down, and as everyone's talking, I felt him kind of like, he was like, you know, giving me like strange looks, like not like strange, like mean, but like curious. And then after, like, I said something, he was like, I know I seen you somewhere. He was like, you do sketches? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, man, I just saw Thirst 48 today. I was watching it and I was like, these niggas got it. And he starts going, like, his energy completely changed. He was like, oh, he started praising like what we were doing, and basically just he starts, like, in that moment he was like, y'all got it. This is how he talks. He was like, y'all got it. He was like, y'all got it. He was like, a lot of niggas corny, but the shit y'all do, like Thirst 48, nigga, that shit genius, nigga. That's like that shit. He was like, y'all gonna go far. And he just kept telling us all these, and this is like my first time in LA, and this guy like has a long track record of working with people who are actually goats, you know? So for him to start telling me this in this moment. In music, right. But his thing, like, he works with people and like their image and stuff like that. So for him to say that about us at that time, it was empowering, man. I'm telling you, I was on like the $500, Michael K. Williams, the $500, getting flown out, Michael K. Williams, the $500 check, and now this, I'm just like on a high, right? So the next day, no, that night, right? Tracy had contacted our manager and asked if we had any ideas for a show for her, the chef that she's like working on her network, that she's gonna put on another show for her. This celebrity chef, he cooks for Mary J. Blige, everything. She wants to just create a show around him. Do we have any ideas? So that night, I remember getting to the hotel room, calling the guys and being like, yo, everything was dope. This is what Tracy Edmonds says. What y'all trying to do? Y'all got any ideas? So we started brainstorming over the phone, and we came up with this no budget chef show. Basically, it was called No Budget Gourmet, and it was just how to cook gourmet meals, nice meals, not just like, you know, like shrimp wraps and and chicken sliders and stuff like that, but on a budget. And doing them really nice and neat so you can bring them to like, you know, the movies and stuff like that. Really budget, you know, picnics and stuff like that. So we pitched it to her, funny intro, funny, you know, and funny in-betweens, but then it was just about cooking and then a funny outro. And the next morning, I went back to the church where they were shooting again, pitched it to her. She fell in love with it. And because of that and something else that she did for us, we ended up moving out. That show that we pitched, we ended up moving out to LA because of that. But so after we pitched the show, the next day I'm coming back home. So, you know, it's like bittersweet, but you know, you gotta come back home anyway. I knew I was only gonna be there for a couple of days. I already had a great time. This is like as good as the time I could ask for. So I was like ready to come home and just reminisce about the time I just had. So I'm at the airport now, coming back home. This is like it's probably like on a Monday or a Sunday. And Cam texts me. I think you text me. Either you text me or it was a group text. And right before we left, we had dropped the album. We dropped the album like a month before. I think we dropped the album a month before.
You asking the wrong guy.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
We had to, so we had dropped the album a month before. I remember I said we were getting ready to drop the album. We had already dropped the album, but we didn't drop no music videos yet. And we were doing skits to also push the album that we just dropped without any music videos, just the skits, right? So that people could go stream that. But we had the album out, and it's been out for like a month now. So at the airport, as I'm coming back, Cam texts me and says, "Yo, we just got a check for the album." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm thinking he gonna say something like, couple $100, maybe $1,000. Is it cool is this cool if I say, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It was for $20,000. He was like, "Yeah, we just got a check for $20,000 for our album." Our first check.
It wasn't the album. That was the Tracy check.
No, bro. No, because we didn't get that yet. Remember?
$20,000 for an album?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We got $20,000 on that first album. I promise you.
What?
I promise you.
All right.
Either it's 20 or 10, but it was one of those. It was one of those.
Okay.
It was 20 or 10, and then on top of what Tracy gave us, that's what helped us to move out here. But when he told me that, I was just like, I was floored, because I was like, to get that off of like how we made that album, it kind of made me feel like, damn. It solidified, like, damn, we really doing it. Like, we really getting to it. And I remember just on the plane coming back, I was just like, man, wow, this is that feeling right here. This is what everybody talks about. And I started writing it in my phone. I was like, Mike, just remember this moment. I started detailing everything I did, everything I just did, where I was at, how I was feeling, what song was popular. And I can't find that note to this day, but I remember me writing it. I remember what I said in it. And yeah, a lot of stuff happened after that, and things were up more than that sometimes, and things were down a lot more. It's just a roller coaster, but it was the start of a lot for us. And yeah, those are just one of those moments. And I feel like in life, there's going to be plenty of those moments. There could be, not plenty, but there's a lot more of those moments to come that you can have. But that was one of the first ones where it was like, whoa, everything is paying off. And it felt like it was paying off rapidly. It felt like it was just starting to happen. We waited so long, and everything just felt like the clog just went away and everything just started flowing right away. That's how I felt in that moment. And I just remember feeling that and being like, I'm gonna remember this forever. This moment right here, these couple days, this whole, like, I was like, I'm gonna remember this forever. And I did. And I just wanted to tell that story because I remembered it the other day and I was like, I gotta tell that story.
All right, I only got one question. So
Yeah.
You always told us about the lady you met that said that we were gonna break up as a group.
Yeah.
But you never said it was Taraji.
Yeah. It was the thing.
Taraji.
There was a lady that said it. She was saying it too, but Taraji was backing her up. Taraji and her were like saying it. She was like, yeah, everybody come out here, do all this and break up, and she's like, y'all ain't gonna last. And the way she said it too was so like nonchalant. So you in a group, y'all ain't gonna last. And we're like, why? She's like 6 men. And they all laughing, and then the other lady start adding facts to it, and I was just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They were right.
Hey, they were right. And it happens, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we still strong. But yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
When a flower beauty cold, seeing you is rare like snow. Where I'm from, when you're out the city glows. Instant rhythm, instant soul.
Alright, what comes in the box once you get it? All your retainers. I got 15 of them, so it's going to take me 15 weeks to straighten my teeth. And I only got the top teeth because I need a bottom tooth extracted. But what's cool about Bite, they work with me, so they'll still help me with my top teeth until I get my bottom teeth situated. So I got 15 retainers all in this box. Also got some accessories. I got what you put your retainers in, carry around when you take them out to eat, or if you out or whatnot at a restaurant, you on a date, put it in there. And I got some whitening foam to use, whiten my teeth. Also, you got the Hyper Bite, which is really cool, which cuts your time in half. If you use it every day, I think it's just for 5 minutes a day, it'll cut your treatment time in half. It's the only technology that Bite has. It's a technology that only Bite has, which is really cool, which separates them from all the other competition. So I'm excited to use that. And yeah, so today is the day. I'm gonna open this one, see what it looks like. Boom. But I still get the bottom with it, but it's probably just gonna keep it in place where it's at, which is cool. But this is my first tray for the first week of straightening my top teeth. So comes with instructions. Comes with a little sticker that says the wait is over. It is time to bite. I know you can't see it. If it focus, I don't know. This is cool. Let me pop it in. And it fits. It fits perfectly, actually. Yep. And it's comfortable too. But I gotta take it out before I eat or drink anything that's not water. So that's cool. Let me put this in a tray. So if y'all want to start on this journey, just use my code BITEDT.
Hi, this is Gomez, aka the Black Amigo, and this is the time I jumped in the pool in the middle of a blizzard.